Meadowlands as we get ready for the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets. Boomer Esiason makes his return to action. Boomer and the Jets facing Jim Kelly and the Bills, who lead the AFC East. Back in a moment with the kickoff. First to Greg Gumbel.
Hi, everyone. Greg Gumbel in New York. We'll send you back for the kickoff in just a moment. But first, an update on the scores as we have them now. In Cincinnati, the Bengals, once in charge of this game, now trail the Pittsburgh Steelers 42-31. And Jeff Blake lit up the scoreboard today for the Bengals. 3 touchdown passes and 1 touchdown run. Steelers trail by as many as 18. But Neil O'Donnell capped a great comeback with this 71-yard scoring strike to Cordell Stewart. Shakes free, goes into the end zone for the go-ahead score. The Pittsburgh Steelers in charge of this game late now at Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati, 42-31. In Cleveland, Green Bay adds to the Browns' woes, 31-20 the final score. Brett Favre ran for 1 touchdown, threw for 3 others. Vinny Testaverde quarterbacked the Browns in the second half and put 17 of their 20 points on the board. In Chicago, the Lions win their first road game of the season. They beat the Bears today 24-17. In Foxborough, the Patriots fall to Indianapolis today. 24-10 was the final score. The Colts come up a winner. Jim Harbaugh, fully recovered from a groin injury, got the start for the Colts and did pretty well today. He rolls out and fires on the run to Floyd Turner here. 14-yard touchdown pass. Harbaugh, the NFL's highest-rated passer, did nothing to hurt that standing today. He had an outstanding afternoon as Indianapolis improves to 6-5 on the year. Atlanta Falcons today, 31-6 over the Rams. The Philadelphia Eagles defeat the Giants today, 28-19. Tampa Bay over Jacksonville, 17-16 in the fourth. Carolina leading the Arizona Cardinals, 27-7. Now back to Denver in the Meadowlands.
It is an overcast 47-degree day at Giant Stadium for the Jets and the Bills. Buffalo leading the AFC East with a record of 7-3. They are 1 game in front of Miami. Game and a half over Indianapolis, with the Colts beating the Patriots earlier today, while the Jets merely playing out the schedule at 2 up and 8 down in what has been a dismal season. Hi, everybody. Marv Albert along with Chris Collinsworth. And Chris, I don't care what anybody else on the staff has said. I think you look just excellent in that jacket.
Well, thank you. You did a great job designing them, Marv. I think you were terrific with that.
It's about time that I received some credit. The major curiosity there today, though, from the Jet point of view, is the return of Boomer Esiason. And once again, Boomer will be looking to his left for number 78, Bruce Smith, and you wonder, will he be hearing the footsteps?
And Everett McIver, the first time around, didn't do much of a job today. It'll be Matt Willick trying to do a little bit better job. But for Boomer Esiason, we asked him the other day, will you be a little nervous with this game? He said, yeah, what do you think? I'm crazy? Yeah, I'm going to be looking at Bruce Smith, and on the backside, Bryce Popp, and now Cornelius Bennett in there. It'll be a tough afternoon for Boomer.
And it was 6 weeks ago, Bruce Smith whipping by Everett McIver, who ironically has been bothered by a concussion in recent weeks. So the starter today at left tackle will be Matt Willick.
And McIver had the brilliant plan of talking a little trash to Bruce Smith. It didn't work out very well in that ball game. And Matt Willick, we asked him whether or not he'd be talking any trash to Bruce Smith, and he said, no.
And Buffalo has had a surprising season, record of 7-3. They'd have to be considered one of the major surprises of the NFL season. The defense has been solid. That has certainly been a major part of the story. But for Jim Kelly, it has been a very satisfying campaign.
And a very difficult year this year for Jim Kelly, because he hasn't had his main weapons with which to work. Andre Reed and Thurman Thomas, the guys that he's most comfortable with. But Billy Brooks has really stepped up and had a sensational season. 7 of the last 9 Bills touchdowns, including the last 5 in a row. And over the first half of the season, not much in the way of numbers, but over the last 5 games, he has been their dominant offensive player.
And there is Buffalo head coach Marv Levy. Made his return last week after undergoing surgery for prostate cancer. Surgery that was supposed to sideline him until Christmas, but he said he was just motivated to come back, and he has made it back. Buffalo winning the toss. They will receive. Derek Holmes and Yonel Jourdain are back deep. And it's played by Holmes. Out to the 20. And hit down across the 25-yard line. 23-yard return. Chad Cascadden involved on the stop. A look at the Buffalo offensive line. Fina, the rookie Brown, Hull, Ostrowski, and Parker. Parker making it back after missing 3 games with a broken ankle. Jim Kelly, the quarterback. Thurman Thomas in the K-gun, the lone deep back. A look at the receivers. As Chris mentioned, Bill Brooks has been on a run. Bill Brooks with 7 touchdown receptions last week against Atlanta. 7 catches, 101 yards, and 2 TDs. But Kelly on first down goes to Thomas. Mo Lewis on the coverage. And a look at the Jet defensive unit. Washington, Howard, Brock, and the rookie Hugh Douglas making his 2nd straight start. And the Jets to the nickel against the K-gun. So the linebackers are Jones and Lewis with the extra DBs. Here's Thurman Thomas. Thurman Thomas making it back last week against Atlanta, that jammed his shoulder. So Derek Holmes had a big game with 100 yards for the day. And Jim Kelly telling us that certainly Derek's best performance of the season. It is a 3rd and 2 at the 35. We are just underway. Kelly off the roll. Good pressure. Chased by Eric Howard. The pass intended for the tight end, Lonnie Johnson.
Go with a little play action fake off of the counter tray that they run so effectively, and it really just was not there. I think Jim was hoping that Thurman Thomas would turn around and give him somewhere to just dump the football, but Thurman never turned around.
And Chris Moore coming off an outstanding game last week, punting to the newest Jet, Jeff Seidner, who replaced Dexter Carter, who had his difficulty. Pump fly from Moore, and a short punt that rolls out of bounds. So here comes Boomer Esiason making his return off that 25-yard punt by Moore. The Jet offensive line, Willig at the left tackle. And we're told John Bach has replaced Cal Dixon. Dixon with a sprained foot. Esiason, the quarterback. Baxter and Morrell are the running backs. The receivers, Wilson, Corbett, and Brady, as the Jets start out from the 41-yard line. And they go to the ground for Morrell. Short pickup by Adrian Morrell. Bryce Pop on the tackle. Hanson, Washington, and Smith up front. The front 3 has played very well. Pop, Perry, Bennett back from the hamstring, and Rogers with Marlon Kerner for the injured Jeff Boris, and Greg Evans replacing the injured Kurt Scholes, who is tied for the NFL lead with 6 interceptions, but out because of a deep thigh bruise. That was a game-time decision. Kurt tried it during the warm-ups, not able to go. 2nd down and 7 at the 44. And here's Ronald Moore for a short pickup. Bruce Smith making the stop.
And Boomer still yet to drop back for the first time. And if Boomer was going to look left before the game started, he's definitely going to look left now. They had Bryce Pop and Bruce Smith on the same side over here. So instead of having to look both ways, he can just check out that left side.
It is a 3rd down and 4. The Jets at their 47. The Jets coming off their bye week. They've dropped 2 in a row since the win over Miami, losing at Indianapolis. And losing to the Patriots here at the Meadowlands 2 weeks ago. And again to the ground. Baxter has a first down and more. And pushed out of bounds by Matt Darby. 26-yard run by the fullback, Brad Baxter.
A massive hole off to the left side. Got Matt Willig up working against the strong safety Henry Jones, and there's just nobody else there. You know, the Buffalo Bills on 3rd down and 4, they want to get up the field and do a little pass rushing, and that time Brad Baxter just slipping right inside it.
And for Baxter, his longest run of the season. Brad Baxter in his 6th year out of Alabama State primarily has been a short yardage specialist in there for his blocking. And now the handoff to Moore. So Esiason yet to throw. Penalty flag is tossed. Jets have been on the ground right throughout. Pop on the tackle and a flag toss. The referee today, 18-year veteran Dick Hantak. And you can see the face mask indication against Buffalo.
And I think Wade Phillips has seen enough of this running game, the defensive coordinator for the Bills. He had 9 guys on the line of scrimmage that time.
Face mask, 5 yards. Repeat the down, first down.
Wade Phillips that time bringing everybody to the line of scrimmage. You can see 9 guys within 2 yards of the ball, and they want to see Boomer drop back and throw it. I'm sure that the butterfly is still flying for Boomer Esiason, and they want to see how he is once he makes that first drop back into the box.
Well, the last time Boomer was on the football field playing for Rio was back on October the 8th against these Buffalo Bills, and he does not have many memories of that day. Ronald Moore trying to cut to the outside. Sam Rogers, the outside linebacker, on the tackle, and a first down for the Jets.
You know, Marv, you brought that point up, and Boomer was telling us that he was anxious and excited to get back out on the field because his last stint on the football field was a 4-minute nap, courtesy of Bruce Smith. And so this has been a heck of a first drive for the Jets to be able to move the football like this and just stay on the ground and let Boomer get a feel for the game.
And they have a first down at the Buffalo 16. That is Trebek in motion. And now Boomer to throw. And able to complete to Moore. Battles his way for the first down. Hard running by the halfback Ronald Moore. Henry Jones, the strong safety, made the stop.
And this is what you're going to see out of the Jets today, an effort to try and take some short drops, get the football out of there, don't get Boomer Esiason beat up. And the Jets, not too bad of a team once they get down inside the red zone. The problem is they just don't get many chances. 22 trips, now 23 trips inside the red zone. That is the second fewest in the National Football League.
Look at that stat. Only 1 rushing touchdown. Comparison with Emmitt Smith. First and goal at the 5-yard line, and Moore is stacked up. Bruce Smith, Cornelius Bennett combined to make the stop. Chris, how do you look at this from Boomer's point of view? Are the final 6 games, for all intents and purposes, an audition? And of course, Boomer has to decide what he wants to do following this season.
That's right. He didn't like it very much when we brought it up yesterday, as Cornelius Bennett limped off the field. He's been struggling with that hamstring injury. But Boomer Esiason knows that he has to play well over the last few games of the season, not only to try and impress the Jets staff and management, but perhaps other teams out there.
Second and goal at the 5 again for Beck in motion. Esiason facing the rush, and down he goes for the first time. Phil Hansen, the left defensive end. There's Phil, number 90, out of North Dakota State, making it 5.5 sacks for the season.
Well, you try and do so much to pass protect on the outside against Pop and Smith. That leaves one-on-one inside. That time, James Brown just no match for the inside move of Phil Hansen.
Well, Boomer said he was looking forward to that very first hit.
He got it.
Yes, he did.
Should be a happy guy now.
Can you see Boomer accepting a backup role? Obviously, would have to be on a good club.
No, I don't think he's going to accept one period.
All right, Boomer took the hit and is almost intercepted. Marlon Kerner had a clear path along the sideline. The rookie from Ohio State could not hold on.
And you will not get an easier interception for a touchdown than this right here. Boomer Esiason hit as he threw it. Marlon Kerner replacing Jeff Burris. And it is just a flat-out drop. There was nobody out there. This is a walk into the end zone if Kerner makes that catch. Wow.
So the Jets have to settle for a field goal. Nick Lowry from 30 yards away, 10 of 12 for the season. And Lowry able to put it So it's a 3-0 Jet lead with 8:46 remaining.
Coming off the corner. So far, it hasn't been Bruce Smith and Bryce Pop, but other guys on this football team getting pressure, and Boomer hit. And this is just unbelievable. I mean, that is that's a play that almost anybody at the high school level could make. This is a team, though, that has gotten pressure throughout the course of the season. Only 2 teams better in the league.
And it just demonstrates the significance of sacks.
It really does.
But it has no meaning. If a club has 30 sacks, the Jets very effective in that matter, and the record is 2-8. So what does it all mean?
That's right. But the Buffalo Bills, this has been the biggest area of improvement for them. Last season, they had only 25 sacks the entire year. To date, 32 in 10 games. So they have really found a way to bring the pressure. Of course, Bryce Pop, the big reason for that.
Wouldn't you say also hurries and pressures?
Oh, yeah.
Certainly play a role. Good kickoff by Silvestri. In effect, you have to look at the complete picture. Back with more from Giant Stadium in a moment. Who left the field just moments ago in that last series, currently getting banged up on the play.
Yeah, he was holding his back coming off the field, and it was one of those hits right in the middle of the pile that, I don't know, he's been bothered with the hamstring, but he appeared to hurt his back.
So Buffalo in its second possession, first possession, 3 plays and a punt. Not able to get anything going. Thurman Thomas with a good second effort, stopped by Marvin Jones. New look at that Jet secondary. Gary Jones starting at free safety, and Otis Smith back in the starting lineup. You'll recall Otis started the season with 4 interceptions, his first 4 games, and then suffered the injury out with a sprained ankle. Made his return against the Patriots there 2 weeks ago. Second down and 7 at the 23-yard line. Again, Thomas slashing his way for a first down. Covered up by Hugh Douglas.
And for Thurman Thomas, he got his first catch in the very first play of this game. Last week, he didn't catch a ball, which was the first time in 42 straight games that he had not. And you could tell that Thurman last week in the early part of the game really was not himself, got better as the game went along, and now looks like he's almost completely healthy.
And Kelly to the sideline. Catch is made. Bill Brooks, play is ruled dead. Brooks covered by Aaron Glenn, and I must say, Chris, you did it again yesterday. Bill Brooks walked into our production meeting looking to give up his time, and he was thoroughly depressed when he departed. Head down, sulking. I noted a tear in the eye. You really got into his head.
I just couldn't believe that he wasn't upset over the fact that he had to take $1 million pay cut, and here he is, the most valuable player on this offense.
All right, the swing for the rookie Holmes. Trying to make the spin and hit down at the 41. Lewis and Jones combined on the coverage. Bill Brooks is in his 3rd season as a member of the Bills after 7 years with the Colts. Then he was dropped because of the salary cap and then re-signed at the minimum salary of $200,000.
That's right, and I kept asking him about it, and he said, no, I'm happy. Money is not what motivates me. It's okay. This is fine. I'm happy to make $200,000.
Holmes on the carry, stopped by Washington, but you kept pressing the point. How can anyone be happy taking that kind of pay cut? You had him quoting from the Bible.
He did. He gave me his favorite quote, and he said you got to keep your life free from the love of money and be content with what you have.
Right, and as I mentioned to Bill, something that both you and I can relate to.
And that NBC has helped me live towards.
Penalty marker is thrown as the Bills lined up for this 3rd down and 2 at the 44-yard line.
That was a joke, by the way.
Of course.
Encroachment, defense, 94, 5-yard penalty. Will be a first down.
I can hear the executive floor at 30 Rock back in Manhattan just rocking with laughter.
Cracking up, yes.
Absolutely.
I have a way of making those people, I thoroughly entertain them on a regular basis.
It is a first down at the 49. 6 minutes remaining in this first quarter. The Jets with a 3-0 lead. Here's Holmes trying the left side. Gary Jones, the free safety on the stop of Derek Holmes.
And Derek Holmes, probably a little better player as a backup when he comes in and sort of the Kenneth Davis role, he can come in and just spell him, and all of a sudden you got Thurman Thomas's slashing style, and Derek Holmes just comes in and plays a little power football.
Here's Thomas trying to change of direction, but was greeted. Again, the free safety, Gary Jones, on the stop. Jim Kelly saying, and had only good things to say about Holmes, but said Derek knows the plays, but he doesn't know why we're running the specific play.
Sure did.
8th play of the drive. It's a 3rd down and 9. And the crowd urging the Jet defensive unit on as Kelly fires through the hands of Russell Copeland, who was covered by Gary Jones.
Well, Jim Kelly talked about it. He said that there have been a lot of drops, especially on those big 3rd down plays, and this team is last in the NFL in converting on 3rd down, and there you see part of the reason why. Gary Jones right there to make the play. Of course, he has taken over as the starter for Todd Scott, and part of the reason they thought he was a big hitter. He came up with one there.
Ron Carpenter, Jeff Seidner are back. Chris Moore punting into the wind, had only a 24-yard punt earlier this first quarter. This one rolls to the end zone. So they'll bring it out to the 20, and this will go down as a 50. 4:45 left in the first. 13 sacks, 2 last week against Atlanta, but 2 weeks ago against the Colts. Pop recording the hit on Indianapolis quarterback Paul Justin, and the NFL fined Bryce Pop $12,000 after reviewing the tackle, and Bryce very upset.
Yeah, he sure was. He said, because once I hit a guy in the shoulder, I can't control the physics of what happens to my body after that. If I hit him in the shoulder and it goes up to the head, that's something I can't do anything about, and I shouldn't be fined for that.
You think was it a clean hit? Baxter on the carry.
Okay, easy.
Marv, there was an NFL Films version of that hit in which it looked to me like, and again, here I go again, I'm going to get Bruce Smith mad at me and Bryce Pop.
Well, Bruce is already, he's not going to get any madder.
Thanks, especially after you talked to him. But it looked to me like he hit him in the head. I mean, it did. It looked like he hit him in the head. And Gene Washington, who's doling out the fines right now, he's just not going to allow it. I mean, this game, without starting quarterbacks in this league, takes a serious drop-off, and that's what they're trying to prevent.
So let's see what the Buffalo Bills, I guess, in a couple of weeks. We can scratch Bryce off the list of those who will be joining us
Short meeting.
the day before the game. Timing pattern thrown by Esiason, intended for Charles Wilson, who has not been pleased about the fact that he has not been able to go deep for most of the season. He was covered by the corner, Thomas Smith.
You know, it's interesting. Charles Wilson, the longest catch that he has made this season is 21 yards. Last year with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he averaged 21 yards a catch. So he, to some degree, he's making a point. He had 3 touchdowns in the first 3 games and none since.
3rd down and 9 at the 21. Just under 4 minutes to go. First quarter. Jets 3, the Bills nothing. Esiason getting the protection and able to complete. Short of a first down, the tight end Johnny Mitchell. Stopped by Cornelius Bennett. So for Johnny Mitchell, that is only his 13th catch of the season. Remember, he had 58 receptions a year ago.
Coming back from that back injury, and Matt Willig, one of the players down, look like Marlon Kerner, the rookie cornerback who replaced an injured Jeff Burris, so they'll be down to about their 3rd corner if he can't go the rest of the way. One of the things that Boomer Esiason talked to us about yesterday was that he felt that Glenn Foley and Bubby Brister did a poor job of stepping up in the pocket, that they kept fading back, and that was the reason they were taking a lot of sacks. There you saw Matt Willig blocking on the outside, and he had a lot of help from Brad Baxter. But he said, if I can step back up in the pocket and not allow Bruce Smith and Bryce Pop to get me going around the pocket, I feel like that we can have a decent day protection-wise.
And that is Marlon Kerner being helped to the Buffalo sideline. 3rd round draft pick out of Ohio State, who is starting, as you mentioned, for the injured Jeff Burris. And yes, the Bills are thin in the defensive secondary. Kirk Scholl sitting out with a deep thigh bruise. Boris lost several weeks ago.
For 46. Ooh, like he just got drilled in the back. A late block by one of the Jets coming in there and just diving over the pile. But if it is the back, he should be fine. That's going to get hit somewhere in football. That's about the best you can hope for.
And it looks like he is walking it off. He's indicating that he is all right. Brian Hansen punting from his 13 with Steve Tasker back. And here comes Tasker. Tasker broke the tackle. Nice return by Tasker, hit down by Fred Baxter, a 43-yard punt, and a 24-yard return by the all-around man, Steve Tasker, who even these days is being used as a holder for Steve Christie, and a penalty marker has been thrown.
Holding on a return, number 94, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Mark Pike, strong special teams player, is called for the hold. Thurman Thomas, who returned last week after missing a couple of games with a pulled hamstring, says he's fine, although he jammed his shoulder in the game against the Falcons last week. 1st and 10 for the Bills from the 41. Kelly with the short set and able to complete. Armour had it up close. The Bills say that they've maintained possession. The rookie from Stanford, Justin Armour, on the catch. And they are able to cover up.
And Justin Armour's been having a little trouble hanging on to the ball. He dropped the touchdown pass last week. Here makes the catch and then loses control of it. And amazingly, it comes back to him. I mean, that was a pinball type shot. And the thing bounces all the way back to him through about 3 Jet defenders.
Looked like Marvin Washington, number 97, had it, but it squirted free and was covered up. The Bills with only 13 turnovers their first 10 games, a very low total. Only Kansas City committing fewer. Now the measurement close to the first down.
And you saw down at the bottom of the list the Jets with the most in football, and that has really put a burden on this defense. They rank 12th as far as giving up yards, but 29th with points, and to a large degree it's because their offense keeps turning the football over and making a short field for the opponents. Jim Vecchiarelli, the defensive coordinator.
2nd and less than a yard from midfield. Kelly. And it is ruled out of bounds. Bill Brooks with the catch, covered by Otis Smith, but he was out of bounds.
Interesting call on 2nd and 1. You got the force out, and I believe that Bill Brooks, the veteran receiver, gets this other foot down. Pushed out of bounds, gets one down, and I guarantee you Bill Brooks gets that other foot down without the push. So the official has the right to come in and say that's a legitimate catch. I think that's a missed call.
Yes, he was pushed out. And now the Bills to the ground. And Carwell Gardner has the first down. The story of this first quarter, though, 2 drops by the Bills. Kerner with the drop of that should have been an interception, and the chance for the clear path to the touchdown, and then the drop by Russell Copeland, a 3rd down pass from Jim Kelly on the first series. So nothing doing offensively to this point as we approach 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter, and the Bills trailing the Jets 3-0. Kelly on the screen for Thomas. Picks up the blocker. Has a first down and more. Penalty flag has been thrown. Victor Green, Aaron Glenn finally getting Thomas down. It's a 22-yard pickup if it holds.
And Thurman saying it was a face mask. You can see him grabbing his own face mask on the play, but Aaron Glenn likes what he hears, and it's going to be a hold against the Buffalo Bills. What a perfectly timed call, though, by Jim Kelly to come with the screen when the Jets were coming with the blitz. That one, lucky didn't go all the way.
Screen run, number 85, offense, 10 yards. Repeat the down, first down.
You see the reaction from Marv Levy with that penalty called on the wide receiver, Russell Copeland.
And that was the thing that Marv Levy missed most watching the games on television. He didn't get to yell at the referees.
Yes.
That's what he said. He said, I really miss just yelling at the referees. I used to yell at my TV set, and it just wasn't the same. So his toughest decision sitting in front of the television instead of being on the sideline was had to decide between potato chips and popcorn.
And it really is such a contrast of personality because you know Marv's vocabulary of Phi Beta Kappa at Cole College, a master's in English history from Harvard, but he can certainly go the other way on the sideline. Kelly for Brooks. Brooks puts the moves on. Brooks for the touchdown. So Bill Brooks with his 8th touchdown reception of the season. This for 45 yards and some beautiful footwork by the 10-year veteran out of Boston University.
I mean, that is just sensational by Billy Brooks. Here's a guy not fast enough to play wide receiver in this league anymore. He put about 10 moves down the field, weaving in and out, just trying to get lost in the coverage, makes the catch, makes sort of a slow move to the inside, and this amazing streak continues for him now, the last 6 touchdowns by Billy Brooks.
6 and 8 of the last 10, as you saw. Steve Christie with the extra point, and the Bills have a 7-3 lead.
You're going to see Billy Brooks coming down the field and just start weaving in and out, and poor Aaron Glenn on the outside, I believe, is who he's working against. Just up and down and around and in and out and gets them all turned around. Excuse me, that was Victor Green on the coverage, and Billy Brooks proving once again that if you know what you're doing on the football field, you don't have to run those 4-3s anymore. Where would they be without Billy Brooks this season?
We're talking about Bill with Jim Kelly last night, and Jim was saying that Brooks is so smart, he's like a quarterback out there playing wide receiver. Well, is he saying that that's the measuring stick, like a quarterback in terms of intelligence?
Well, with Jim saying it, I'm not sure it's a compliment.
No,
just a joke. Don't give me that that you always do. But Billy Brooks is a guy, and especially when you're playing against zone defenses. Now, man-to-man's a little bit different thing, but when you get in there against zone defenses, it's just knowing where the holes in the coverage are. And Billy Brooks, nobody better in football at finding those holes.
5 plays, 59 yards in a minute and 36. So Buffalo with a 7-3 lead. Minute 35 left in this first quarter. Ronald Moore, Ron Carpenter now await the kickoff from Steve Christie. Buffalo Bills at 7-3 on top of the AFC East. A game over Miami. Dolphins playing tomorrow night at home against the San Francisco 49ers. Earlier, the Indianapolis Colts knocked off the New England Patriots. This is Carpenter. Now the hole, and then is taken down at the 33-yard line. A 15-yard return, and the Jets back to the offense. What a reminder, following the Kansas City-Dallas showdown on Thanksgiving. Stick around for what has become an NBC holiday tradition, Home Alone, one of the biggest comedy hits of all time on NBC on Thanksgiving night.
I love that movie because I've got 4 kids under 5. So for the next week after they watch it, they do nothing but run around the house going, ah! You know, that's all they do in that movie.
All right, Boomer and the Jets from the 33-yard line. And he's able to complete. Charles Wilson gets inside the 45, taken down by Greg Evans, a 23-yard pass play, and for Wilson, that is his longest reception of the season.
And watch the protection. That's perfect. There's the pocket that Boomer was talking about, and if you give Boomer Esiason that much time, he's going to find somebody open. That's what the Jets have to prove now during the next few minutes, that they can throw the football effectively to get Buffalo back out of some of their run defenses.
Charles Wilson came over right at the start of the year from Tampa Bay, where he was noted as a big play receiver, and that's why he's been so upset when you consider this particular play for 23 his longest of the season. 45 seconds left in the quarter. Esiason with the handoff to Morrell, who was stacked up, a loss on the play. Bennett there along with Pop. Clock running down to 25 seconds in this first quarter. Well, Buffalo with 101 yards. Good portion of it on that touchdown pass to Bill Brooks.
Big Bryce Pop not in a tremendous mood over that $12,000 fine, was he?
And that'll do it for the opening quarter. The Bills 7, the Jets 3. You're watching the NFL on NBC. So we'll have a sports doubleheader today. Avid basketball fan. He and several of the Bills will stay over in the New York area tonight, taking the Knicks Vancouver game at Madison Square Garden. Bruce is a close friend of Charles Oakley of the Knicks, and Chris, with the expansionist Vancouver Grizzlies in town, you know Bruce wants to be there.
Right. Are you going to call the game?
No.
Oh, they can make the game, but you can't make the game.
Well, he's going to get this second half.
How do you know that? Bruce Smith, all-time, one of the leaders, one of the very best. Of course, the guy right at the top, not too bad either, Reggie White.
Second down and 12 from the 45-yard line, and Esiason's pass broken up. Fred Baxter took the hit. Thomas Smith with the coverage.
Pretty big hit for a cornerback. Thomas Smith was a guy that they picked on a season ago. Really, these corners were not very effective at all. But because they brought in Bryce Pop, just not as much time to throw the football. And he went in with his hands to knock the ball away, then hit him with his leg and kind of gave him a little chop underneath.
It is a 3rd and 12 at the 45-yard line. Bills 7 and the Jets 3. Is taken down. Phil Hansen again, his second sack of the game, 6.5 for the season.
Well, once again, Bruce Smith right on the nose right here, and that is causing such a distraction for this offensive line. When Bruce looped around, that opened it up for Phil Hansen to come right straight through the chute and get Boomer Esiason. That's one of the things that happens on a football team, and to some degree, I think that Bryce Pop and all the numbers that he's put up is because people are so concerned about Bruce Smith.
Contact made. It was off a Buffalo player inadvertently, which made it a free ball. Damon Thomas, one of the special teams player, as Tasker was letting it bounce, touched the ball, which meant free ball, and Fred Baxter was able to come up with it, a break for the Jets.
Just a horrible play. As a special teamer, you've got to know to just get away from the football. As soon as the guy back there, Tasker, starts yelling fire, 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 that means get away from the football. And that time, Damon Thomas just hit him right in the shoulder. And the Jets, if they're going to win this game, they need a few breaks like this. I mean, this is the way this game has to play out.
So the Jets first down at the Buffalo 19-yard line, trailing 7-3. Quebec in motion. Here's Moore trying to come to the outside, but could not make the turn. Marlo Perry, inside linebacker, was able to cut him off. Marlo Perry played in only 2 games last year as a special teamer. He's replaced Marcus Patton, who left by a free agency, going to Washington. A very big inside linebacker at 6'4", about 250 pounds.
Yeah, and he's really a good athlete. He was originally an outside linebacker that they moved inside just to put the best athletes on the field.
Loss of 2 on the play, a 2nd and 12 at the 21-yard line. And Esiason dropped by Morrell. Adrian Morrell wide open. No one in sight, and could not make the catch.
This could have been a big play. Really nobody out there. Carlton Hasselrig did a beautiful job picking up Bryce Pop. Wow, just have to have that one. And Boomer Esiason was able to fend off the pressure, and When you're struggling the way that this team is offensively, you have to make some of those kinds of plays. Over the last 7 games, averaging just 13 points per game, and you've seen some of the problems with the drop passes already.
Jets now facing a 3rd down and 12. Quebec comes in motion. Esiason eluding the assault. Bruce Smith, and now took the hit from Pop. You could see Boomer Esiason saw Bruce Smith coming, then try to cut to his left, and then it was number 95, Bryce Pop.
And the key thing here is that they've driven themselves out of field goal range. Bruce Smith was all over him. Boomer sees him out of the corner of his eye, and one thing he told us yesterday, he said, I can't outrun these guys. I've got to stay in the pocket. Bryce Pop just stayed after it. And there, once again, you see Bruce Smith making the play, but Bryce Pop getting the sack and getting the statistics.
Yes, a loss of 17 for Pop. It is sack number 14 on the season. 3rd of the day for the Bills. The other 2 by Hansen. And now here is Brian Hansen. And again, Tasker lets it go. And the Bills stay away from this bouncing ball. It's a 28-yard punt. The Jets are hearing it from the crowd. We'll be right back.
In the National Football League, by far, this has been his best season. And as Jim Kelly put it, this guy is 100% bad. As a matter of fact, he stretches bad. But Jim actually tried to get him on the offensive side. He said, I wish he was protecting me.
Well, Jim Kelly and the Bills starting out from the 10-yard line. Good pressure. And it forces Kelly into that weak pass armor in the area. The pressure from the left defensive end, Marvin Washington, who apparently got a piece of the arm of Kelly.
You know, the thing that is happening now with this Bills offense, you see the deflection, is when they try to send 4 or 5 guys out into the pattern, they can't pass protect. They have to send 2 or 3 and leave the rest in there to protect Kelly.
And out of the ground, Thomas started out as a draw, and then he cut outside, getting up to the 14, met by Marvin Jones. Kelly is now 6 of 11, 85 yards, 1 touchdown. The hookup with Brooks. It's a 3rd down and 6 for the Bills. 2.5 gone by in this 2nd quarter. It's the Bills 7, the Jets 3. Marv Albert, Chris Collinsworth from Giant Stadium. Penalty marker down as Kelly throws. Brooks with the scoop. And let's see what the ruling is.
Penalty marker on the play.
Flag is thrown.
So it's going to be a good catch.
Shoe top catch apparently by Brooks.
Offside. Defense, number 99, in the neutral zone at the snap. Penalty is declined. Result of the play, 1st down.
Hugh Douglas up at the top of your screen is going to be pulled. Jim Kelly gets the rookie with the hard count.
So a 1st down for the Bills. Kelly able to step up, and Kelly airs it out and almost intercepted. Aaron Glenn, who is still looking for his first NFL interception, actually had it knocked away by the receiver, the intended receiver, Steve Tasker, who ends up playing defensive back on this play.
Yeah, really a nice play here by Tasker. And as a quarterback, you don't mind throwing this pass if you have guys that will play defensive pass back if the situation warrants. And for Aaron Glenn, he thought he had his first. Now 25 straight starts without an interception. Amazing.
2nd down and 10. Thomas tried the stutter step, but met by Jones, Marvin Jones, with the stop on Thurman Thomas.
And Marvin Jones really now has become what they thought he could be. He's had so many injuries to the hip socket, the ankle, and all the different things. But when he's in the middle for the New York Jets, this is a different defensive football team. It allows Mo Lewis to go back outside, much more solid with him in there.
3rd down and 10. Kelly able to complete to Tasker and has the 1st down. Steve Tasker with only a 6th catch of the season. Marvin Jones chased him down. It's a 25 5-yard hookup and a first down for the Bills at midfield.
And what a valuable guy Steve Tasker has been. He didn't have any catches last season and now has 6, and they're just sort of making offense. Billy Brooks comes back in there. Of course, the injury to Andre Reed and Thurman Thomas, and now they've got their punt returner, their special teams guy in there catching passes. They're just doing the best they can.
First down play, and here's the end around for Armour. Justin Armour on the reverse, run out by the free safety, Gary Jones. Justin Armour with long strides. He feels, and I know you used to say the same thing in your days with the Bengals, that he doesn't appear to be as fast as he is. That's what Justin says.
Yes. You know, Justin Armour, though, has really an unusual style of training. He goes through this thing called the patch, where he jumps over logs and ropes and different things. It's like an obstacle course, like a Marine Corps or something.
Second down and 6. Kelly to the sideline. The leaping catch by Brooks, who's shoved out of bounds, and a flag is thrown. Personal foul. Victor Green was the man who pushed Brooks. I think Brooks was surprised. He looked down. He wanted to make certain that he was in bounds, and then thought about running to pick up extra yardage.
I'd like to see this one again, because I sort of agree with Victor Green at first glance. He's saying Bill Brooks comes down with the toe tapper, and it's my job to tackle the guy. I don't want him turning up the field, so here he is, going to get the feet down, then step out of bounds. Yeah, I think I agree with the officials now. I thought he had time to pull off of this hit. You're going to see the step out, and definitely Bill Brooks was committing himself to be out of bounds. That's a good call.
So this drive that began back on the 10-yard line is now at the Jet 29. First and 10 for the Bills at the Jet 29. 10 minutes and 40 seconds to go first half. Bills 7 and the Jets 3. Kelly again completes. The backup tight end Tony Klein, also out of Stanford, teammate of Justin Armour, and for Klein that is his first NFL reception.
That time the Jets coming with the blitz. They blocked Mo Lewis, leaving man-to-man coverage on the outside. And finally, these Bills tight ends are starting to make some plays. Tony Klein and Lonnie Johnson.
Second and 3 in the hurry-up. Thomas stopped by Marvin Washington. And they spotted at the 20-yard line. It'll be short of a first down, a third down and 1.
Just wanted to finish the point that Pete Metzelaars has been Jim Kelly's tight end for so long around here, and Jim was really comfortable with him, and it has taken almost this entire season before he has begun to feel that way about Lonnie Johnson and Tony Klein.
Third and a yard. And Gardner trying the left side. Good second effort for the first down. The Jets thought they had him. Mark Spindler got him down. And Gardner kept churning and has the first down.
The strength against strength and power against power. They now like to go over there behind Reuben Brown. You see a lot of short yardage situations in which they're going behind the rookie, the #1 pick out of Pittsburgh this year. And he's had quite a few holding penalties throughout the course of the season, but he is certainly powerful coming off the ball.
This is the 12th play of the drive. Thomas. And he'll stop back behind the line. Thurman Thomas hit down by Marvin Jones.
The speed of Marvin Jones and his ability to almost react like a running back on the field as he weaves his way in and out of traffic and tries to make the hit. Here's Marvin Jones. Just watch as he goes and finds holes in which he can come through. In other words, he's sort of modeling the same way that Thurman Thomas did.
Kelly throwing end zone. Oh, Brooks nearly made what would have been a sensational catch. He had it on the fingertips. Otis Smith providing the coverage.
And Otis Smith getting him back really makes a difference. There you see the double move again. And when the speed is lacking, well, he almost made that play. Otis came in there at the last second to tip that one away. But when the speed is lacking the way that it is for Billy Brooks, those double moves, the great equalizer.
It is a third down and 12. The tight end Armour now split wide to the right. Brooks in the slot. Kelly looking the other way, and then finds Tasker. Tasker down inside the 10, but shy of the first down. Lewis and Green on the tackle.
And Jim Kelly now lobbying, wanting to go for it. He's saying it is going to be 4th down and a yard with the
10-yard gain.
Apparently they will.
4th and 1 from the Jets 9.
There's one of those first decisions for Marv Levy, and going for it.
It is 4th and about a yard. The ball at the 9. And he goes to the big guy, Gardner. The Jets say no. Let's see where they spot it.
Marvin Washington on the stop.
Farwell Gardner goes 6'2", about 235 pounds.
Going to be close enough for a measurement. Once again, going right behind Reuben Brown, the big rookie, and they got movement. That's exactly where it happens. The double team comes in there, and all you have to do is move one guy in that short yardage situation.
And they pick it up. Pretty good margin. So the first down for the Buffalo Bills. And as it turns out, that personal foul on Victor Green, very costly.
That's a good point. And also inside the red zone, the Buffalo Bills have struggled throughout the season, and especially without Andre Reed. They've had 15 trips in there and only 2 touchdowns.
First and goal at the 7. Gardner lined up. Thomas, who has had 8 carries for only 12 yards. Now Gardner peels off. Thomas penalty flag down as Thomas runs his way to the 6-yard line. Stopped by Marvin Washington.
It's like an illegal shift that time by the Bills. Bring that one back.
Illegal motion. 2 men moving at the same time prior to the snap without getting reset. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down. First down.
Well, we saw Gardner peel off, and apparently Thomas also made the move.
May have been when Thurman came up to try and no, he got reset. There's the double motion. Good call by the official.
First and goal at the 12. The Bills have gone from their own 10-yard line down to the 12. 16th play of the drive. Off the punt. Kelly's pass off the mark, intended for Thomas.
And down in the red zone is when a quarterback really needs the guys that he feels most comfortable with. And you can see him coming back here to Thurman Thomas. Really didn't even look at the wide receivers down the field. In our conversation with Jim last night, he said, I just don't feel comfortable with the creative side of a play. It's not that they don't know their plays from the playbook, but it's the adjustments that the veterans know how to make.
Second and goal at the 12. 6:40 left in this first half. Draw play, flags thrown. Thomas weaving his way and into the end zone. The penalty markers are down. Beautiful run by Thurman Thomas. And let's check the flags. The Bills are indicating against the Jets.
Offside. Defense.
Yes.
Left in. Penalty is declined. Touchdown.
And Jim Kelly making this Jet defense look silly with these penalties. They're going with the hard count. Marvin Jones and Mo Lewis coming up there in a blitz situation, and Reuben Brown just taking Marvin Jones and wiping him out of the play. Reuben Brown with a huge block, just taking Marvin Jones right out of this play and opening it up for the Thurman Thomas touchdown.
17 plays, 90 yards. Bills had the ball for 6 minutes, 33 seconds, capped off by the 12-yard touchdown run by Thurman Thomas.
Marvin Jones all the way across the hole, about 4 holes over. And then Thurman Thomas with his patented cutback. That's the added dimension that Thurman Thomas can give you.
17-play drive, the Bills' longest drive of the season. Kickoff return by Carpenter. Broke a tackle, and then the Bills going for the football, but Carpenter able to hang on. 24-yard kick return. We'll be back at Giants Stadium in a moment.
There are definite reasons.
3 lead on the Jets, and this certainly relates the story in every category.
Boy, it has been a tough year offensively, and really not much of a breakout so far in this one.
Jets 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line. Long count by Esiason. Took the long look. Diving catch at the 35 made by the rookie from Hofstra, Wayne Chrebet, in front of Marlon Kerner. For Chrebet, his first catch of the day, number 42 for the season. He leads NFL rookies in receptions.
And again, Boomer is going to feel the heat. Really not bad pass protection at all, though. Sam Rogers finally getting the late hit. But Marv, I know I've made this point before watching the Jets, but they just don't scare anybody. I mean, there's not a scare-me player on this offense anywhere, and you can see the defensive backs. They're not giving any room whatsoever as the Jet receivers come up.
It is a 2nd down and 3. The draw from Morrell to the outside and picks up the yardage. Has a first down. Greg Evans, first-year player from Texas Christian, on the stop. Morrell picks up 12 yards. And
if there has been a bright spot on this Jet offense this season, you're looking at him right there. Adrian Morrell really was not supposed to be the guy this season. Ronald Moore was going to get some playing time. Richie Anderson was supposed to be the starter coming out of camp. They gave him a bunch of money, and finally Adrian Morrell got his shot, and he has certainly taken advantage of it.
We were told that Richie Anderson would see some daylight today. He's carried only 5 times, 17 yards. Has not had any playing time since that fumble in the end zone against the Atlanta Falcons. Morrell catching it in a crowd, and has it knocked loose. The Bills have recovered. It is another Jet turnover. Cornelius Bennett on the recovery. The Jets with their 30th turnover of the season.
Boy, what a year for the Jets. They just can't get anything going. And one thing about playing in the National Football League, when you get in a crowd, and that crowd includes Bruce Smith and some guys like that, just get on the ground. I mean, nothing good's going to happen to you in that situation. I actually have had coaches coach us that when you get in the crowd and you're not going anywhere and they're holding you up, whatever, you always hear second effort, you want to go for it. But when you're surrounded like that, somebody's going to get that football.
Buffalo taking over at their 48-yard line with just under 5 minutes remaining. First half. Play fake by Kelly. And underthrow intended for Brooks, who was open. Buffalo Bills have won their last 2 games, beating the Falcons and the Colts. They had dropped their previous 2 after winning 5 straight. Gunning for a record of 8-3. You see head coach Rich Kotite in a discussion with Boomer Esiason.
It's important to note that Glenn Foley would be the starting quarterback. Boomer told us that. Rich Kotite told us that had he not been injured that last play of the game.
Thus Foley suffering the season-ending shoulder injury against the Patriots 2 weeks back. Kelly off the roll, and now able to hit Brooks for the first down. Nice pattern by Brooks in front of Green.
And Marv, that's just terrible play by Marvin Washington. He's beat by the exact same play 2 times in a row. The previous time he got outside Marvin Washington left. Now Marvin's going to bite inside going back to the right. Leaves it wide open for Bill Brooks to work one-on-one. You know, it's one thing to get beat on a play one time. But once you see it once, you're not supposed to have it happen again.
And for Brooks, his 5th catch of the day, 83 yards in all. That was good for 17. And a first down at the 36. Quiet first half for the rookie. Hugh Douglas comes in with 9 sacks. Did not have a sack in the last game against New England. Thomas trying to dart right and then left, but bottled up. Marvin Jones on the stop. Hugh Douglas does lead all NFL rookies with the 9 sacks. He is 3rd in the NFL. He's already broken Joe Flacco's Jet rookie record, which was set back in '77. On pace to break the NFL rookie record of 12 and a half, held by Leslie O'Neal of the Chargers. He just did get it away.
It was interesting, though, Marv. I asked whether or not they were going to slide, asked Jim Kelly whether or not they were going to slide their protection towards Hugh Douglas, which is sort of the ultimate sign of respect if you're going to slide the line that way to account for him. And he said no. He said, we feel like that our guys out there are going to handle him one-on-one, and so far John Fina has done exactly that.
3rd down and 9. Kelly now 12 of 21, 155 yards, 1 touchdown. Deeper drop now by Kelly and completes to Thomas. Has the 1st down. Inside the 20, where he was hit by Otis Smith. And that is a 17-yard hookup.
Well, now with Thurman Thomas back in the lineup, you're going to see this 3rd down percentage go way up for the Buffalo Bills. I mean, it's just obvious. You know, these 3 guys, Thurman Thomas, Jim Kelly, and Andre Reed on 3rd down have been such a force in this league for about the last 4 or 5 years. And you could see the productivity for Jim Kelly just go straight in the tank once those guys were injured.
Looked like Thurman came up hobbling. He's on the sideline, replaced by the rookie Derek Cole. A 1st down at the 18-yard line. Here's Holmes. Inside, 20-yard line. Marvin Washington on the tackle. Tough couple of days for Thurman Thomas. His grandfather passed away on Friday. Told he was very close to his grandparents.
Yeah, that's the thing that you always forget as fans, is that these guys are human beings. You know, life goes on, and there are things that are happening in their lives besides what happens on the football field.
2nd down and 10. That is incomplete. Intended for Tasker. Covered by Glenn. Steve Tasker, who has become a major target in this 2nd quarter, a 6-time Pro Bowl player for his special teams play. Earlier this season out with that cold hamstring.
You know, 5'9", and he can dunk a basketball. You know, one of those phenomenal athletes.
Third down and 10. Bills 14 and the Jets 3. Kelly for the end zone. Touchdown. Once again, Bill Brooks beating Victor Green. 2nd touchdown of the game. It's an 18-yard touchdown pass play, and for Brooks, it is number 9 for the season.
What else can you say about the guy? I mean, this has been an unbelievable run. Jim Kelly, go over there, open up your wallet at halftime, and give the guy 20 bucks. I mean, really, just go give him 20 bucks.
That'd be very kind.
He's not making any money. You know, $200,000, that's peanuts in this game. Jim Kelly and Andre Reed and Thurman Thomas, go out there, get a coffee can, fill it up with some change, whatever, and give it to Bill Brooks.
You're still upset about that?
I am. It bothers me.
And Christie with the extra point. Obviously, although Bill sulked out following your conversation with him yesterday, he was not, fortunately, affected for the game today.
Obviously not, and Victor Green has been affected today.
Carpenter running it out. Able to make his way across the 16-yard line.
Go back to the touchdown now, and Victor Green right here is expecting help from his free safety, but the safety is in man coverage on the tight end, so there's nobody left in the middle of the field. You'll see Victor at the end of this play sort of look back and say, where were you? But that wasn't the design of the defense.
So Mark Pike celebrate the tackle as Brooks with a 2nd catch of the day. Mark Pike making the stop on that kick return by Carpenter. Marv Levy telling us last night he feels Mark Pike is the best big man special teams player that he has ever seen. The catch by Anderson, so Richie Anderson getting into the action. The strong safety Henry Jones on the stop as we come up on 2 minutes remaining in this first half. It'll be a second down and 8 for the Jets when we resume. Bills are up 21-3. Meadowlands. Marv Albert with Chris Collinsworth. 2 minutes left in the first half, and the Bills with a 21-3 lead on the Jets. 2 touchdown receptions by Bill Brooks. Thurman Thomas able to run the other one in. A solid first half for Jim Kelly. The Jets continue to have major problems as Esiason is able to intended for Johnny Mitchell, and he took a hit from Matt Darby. Looked like Mitchell was about to make that reception.
And Johnny Mitchell right at the end of this play is going to slow down just a little bit, maybe anticipating the hit coming from behind. I'm not sure he had an opportunity for the football, but Marvin goes back to the old saying, they're going to hit you anyway. You might as well try and catch it.
And the Buffalo Bills with 233 total yards. New York Jets only 79. It's a third down and 8. Esiason with the time, and that a bit high through the hands of Mitchell, facing the double coverage from Henry Jones and Matt Darby. Esiason now 6 of 11, 54 yards, and Jones is down. Henry Jones, the strong safety in his 5th year out of Illinois, one of the top young safeties in the NFL.
Marv, he really is one of the very best, and he's going to take Johnny Mitchell head on here. It looks like he hit his own man on the play, and that's what caused the problem.
Been a rough day for the secondary. Earlier, Kerner was shaken up. Schulz sitting it out. We'll be right back.
Business is about as predictable as the weather. You never know when a storm's going to hit.
And you need it when?
All you know is you have to respond. So UPS guarantees overnight delivery by 10:30 a.m. and even 8 a.m. And for problems that can't wait till tomorrow,
it's one chip that I need.
There's now same-day delivery. Only UPS offers you all these choices.
We're back in business.
But that's what planning for a rainy day is all about. UPS, moving at the speed of business.
A reminder coming up, the Domino's Pizza NFL on NBC halftime report. Greg Gumbel, Mike Ditka, Joe Gibbs with all the news, scores, and highlights of today's action around the NFL. Earlier on the pregame, Mike with a compelling one-on-one with Jerry Jones of the Cowboys.
It really was, and of course Mike Ditka had been one of the harshest critics of Jerry Jones, and then to see those two guys sitting there face to face going at it, one thing that you know, Mike Ditka is not going to be very intimidated by any situation.
Henry Jones is still down, and the Bills look to be concerned. I've heard of that collision a moment ago on the coverage of Johnny Mitchell. Well, ahead for the Buffalo Bills next Sunday, home for the New England Patriots, who were beaten earlier today. Looked like the Patriots were about to turn things around, but knocked off today by the Colts. Then at San Francisco, at St. Louis, but they finish at home against Miami and Houston.
They certainly have an opportunity, and it's good to see Henry Jones up. He really is one of the talented guys in the league, one of the few strong safeties, and he has that quizzical look coming off the field. I think he took a shot, at least smiling a little bit, though. But he's one of the few strong safeties in football that can cover a back, cover a tight end, man-to-man coming out of the backfield, and that's why he's so valuable.
All right, 4th down and 8 as we resume, and this is Ryan Hansen getting set to punt from his 5-yard line. Oh, that was really blocked. And the fair catch handled by Tasker. 34-yard punt.
35 yards.
And it was Damon Thomas who almost blocked that punt.
And remember, Damon Thomas was the guy that had the ball go off his shoulder earlier, and if he lays out, he makes that play. He went fairly conservative with that one and just tried to get his hands on the football. If he lays out, it hits him in the belly.
Damon Thomas, second-year player from Wayne State, signing with Buffalo as a free agent last year. Minute 45 to go, first half. And the Bills take over at their 46-yard line. Bills with touchdowns on their last 3 possessions. The screen for Thomas, but lost his footing. And covered up by Jones.
You know, Marv, it's going to be interesting to watch this Jet defense in the second half to see whether or not they quit. Otis Smith, after the game, their last game against New England, accused his defensive teammates of quitting on the game. And we had said, do you want to back off of that in any way? And he said, no. He said, that's what I saw, and if I see it again in this one, I'll say the same thing.
Second down and 12, and that is broken up. Lonnie Young, veteran safety man, got a piece of it intended for Bill Brooks. Chris, you think back to your days with the Cincinnati Bengals. If someone said that, would that annoy you or would that get you going? What's your reaction as a player to a teammate saying we quit?
Somebody would have pinned him up agast the wall. Seriously.
In other words, it would not have been well received.
No, there would have been a fight. No question. And nobody offered to fight him on this thing.
All right, a minute 15 remaining in this first half. And Kelly was tripped up by Marvin Washington. First sack of the day for the Jets. Kelly tried to regain the balance but could not.
And Marvin Washington, trying to play through a hamstring injury, had to come out of that game against New England. Had been tricked a couple of times earlier, but that time comes in and makes the play. That's his 5th sack of the season now.
And it's a 4th and about 23 to go. And punting unit checks in Chris Moore.
You know, Mark, that's a sign of a team that is not too worried about the opposition coming back. Jim Kelly just took the sack. He walks over to the sideline. He's sort of smiling and joking around and laughing. You know, I mean, you're not taking your opponent real seriously in that situation.
And a timeout called by the Jets, stopping the clock with 49 seconds remaining. And this is not a happy crowd here at Giant Stadium.
The Buffalo Bills have done a nice job protecting Jim Kelly throughout the course of the season. And let's face it, with all the other injuries, the one guy they cannot afford to have injured is Jim.
Jeff Seidner back with a punt from Moore. Seidner, a recent addition, spent 3 years with the Philadelphia Eagles. And again, a punt from Moore. And Seidner choosing to run. Gets out to the 30-yard line. Picked up 4 following the 42-yard punt. And again, Mark Pike right on the scene. Well, Thanksgiving Day. We hope you join us at NBC Sports. Steve Bono and his Kansas City Chiefs, holders of the NFL's best record, will head to Texas Stadium. A showdown matchup against Emmitt Smith and the NFC-leading Dallas Cowboys. Thanksgiving Day beginning 3:30 Eastern Time with the NFL on NBC.
And they have a great story on Emmitt Smith in the pregame show, and you're going to see Emmitt really like you've never seen him before. What a phenomenal year he's been having.
First down at the 30-yard line. 41 seconds remaining in the half. That is caught by Anderson. Although he was down, he had slipped.
You sit on the bench for as long as Richie Anderson has been on the bench. You got to make some plays. Watch it. This is a hook slide into second base and then a stab. One-handed, Pope. All right, let me clap a little bit for that one. I like that play.
Richie Anderson in his 3rd season out of Penn State. He was 2nd in the nation in scoring as a senior, but he's had a couple of disappointing years.
30 minutes.
Second down and 3. Austin also just like you. And it looked like Hasselrig jumped as you see the flags are thrown.
Austin could start for the Jets right now.
Now we're getting a little
offense. Number 63, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Hasselrig moving early, but when I was chasing young Austin around that day in Buffalo, he started to dash for the elevator, which would have been, you know, the end for me if he had gotten on the elevator. I grabbed him, and this like 2.5-year-old boy
we don't need to hear any more on this.
Weighs like 45 pounds. He's the biggest kid I've ever seen.
Second down and 8. Esiason, as a flag is thrown, fires one that is caught by Greg Evans. It was like a fair catch for Evans, who was bumped out of bounds at the Buffalo sideline. Boomer Esiason involved in that tackle, but there is a penalty marker in the backfield. And a hold against
number 76.
the Jets.
Penalty is declined. Result of the play, interception. First down, Buffalo.
That is the right tackle, James Brown, number 76, called on the hold. And the interception holds up Greg Evans with his first intercept of the season.
And Evans getting his chance to play because of the injury to Kurt Scholes. And this is sort of Scholes-like. Scholes has had a lot just fall in his lap. Actually, Wayne Corbett was behind everybody, but there was Greg Evans. And for Boomer Esiason, he's just taking his shots right now. There's really nothing to lose because they're not doing anything else offensively.
22 seconds remaining in the first half. And the Bills from their 47-yard line. That was tipped. Down to 19 seconds remaining. Bills 21 and the Jets 3. The Buffalo Bills going for their third straight win and a record of 8-3, which would put them a game and a half over the Dolphins, who tomorrow night are home for the 49ers. Kelly getting the protection and completed. Nice catch made by Lonnie Johnson. Lonnie Young with the stop. First catch of the day for Lonnie Johnson.
And Marvin Washington getting pressure on Jim Kelly. Just got it away. And then Lonnie Johnson, who probably had his best game as a Bill last week against Atlanta, making some big catches in that one, comes up with another nice one here.
First reception of the game for Johnson, number 30 for the season. Inside handoff to fullback Jets. Thomas. And a fumble, but recovered. Covered by the Bills. Time is running down. Now the clock is stopped with 4 seconds remaining of the half. Buffalo calling for a timeout to get the field goal unit on. So Steve Christie will attempt.
It was a fumble forward recovered by a teammate. By rule in the last 2 minutes, a ball fumble forward can only be advanced or recovered by a person who has fumbled it. We have returned the ball to the spot of the fumble. Buffalo has taken a timeout, their second charge timeout. This is a 40-second timeout.
A very comprehensive. And Christie's kick, no good. So that is the end of the first half. With the score, the Bills 21 and the Jets 3. And the Jets, understandably, hearing it from this crowd as they head back to the locker room. Now, Steve Christie will kick it off. And Line drives it. Picked up by one of the up and Fred Baxter, the backup tight end, who's run out of bounds. On the subject of Buffalo injuries, Andre Reed, the Bills hope, will make his return for the game next week. A look at the Coors Light halftime stats, all Buffalo.
Yeah, and especially with those passing yards. Boomer Esiason in his first start since getting knocked out by Bruce Smith, really unable to get anything going throwing the football.
First and 10 for the Jets from their own 37.
So the Jets from their 37-yard line. And you get the idea, a number of people have departed at halftime. They are not lingering at the concession stand, Chris. I do not think we will see them back here. Swing pass for Baxter. And Baxter has a first down, run out by Marlon Kerner. A 13-yard hookup.
There's a good play by Boomer Esiason. Cornelius Bennett going right up the middle on the blitz. And that, of course, would have been his man coming out of the backfield, Brad Baxter. Boomer read it and flipped it out there for the easy completion.
The Jets first down at the Buffalo 49-yard line. And the handoff for Baxter. Good blocking by the offensive line. John Bach, the starter at center for Cal Dixon, who's out with a strained foot. Roger Duffy, Carlton Hasselrig at the guards. James Brown, Matt Willig, at the tackles. 2nd down and 4 at the Buffalo 43.
And if the Jets are going to get anything going, they need a touchdown on this drive.
Brett comes across in motion. And Esiason has a wide open. Johnny Mitchell puts a move on, and he is in for the touchdown. He put the move on the extra defensive back, Chris Green.
Well, maybe Boomer and the Jets aren't dead just yet. Brad Baxter with a sensational block on this play on the right side of your screen. Bryce Popp comes completely clean, and Baxter gets him by himself, leaving one-on-one coverage in the secondary. Baxter, boom, with the hit. And now Johnny Mitchell with the brilliant move at the end of this thing. And the Jets showing a sign of life.
Mitchell with a 43-yard touchdown pass play. Mitchell's longest reception this season. And he put the move on Chris Green, who apparently is playing for Henry Jones. We saw Jones walk off dazed in the 2nd quarter following a collision. Lowry adds the extra point, and with a minute and a half gone by in the 3rd quarter, the Bills now lead 21-10. He spent 4 years with Miami, out of the University of Illinois, playing for Henry Jones at strong safety, and the victim of that move by Johnny Mitchell. Here's the kick, made by Holmes, and he'll stay right there. So they'll bring it out to the 20. Another good kick by Silvestri.
Going back to the touchdown, now one of the reasons you send guys in motion is that it messes up things in the secondary. Chris Green's right here, and I'm not sure if it was him or the linebacker here that had man coverage against Johnny Mitchell, but somebody missed a play. Green goes straight back like he's playing the center field. The linebacker comes off the coverage. I'm going to guess that the linebacker, because of the motion, failed to realize he had the number 2 receiver there.
All right, the Bills from their 20-yard line. Good rush on Kelly off the play action. It is ruled incomplete. So Jim Kelly facing the pressure from Marvin Washington.
And finally, Marvin Washington figured this one out. This was the same play that Kelly burned him on earlier in the game, the fake off the counter tray. That time, instead of going with the fake, he goes straight for Jim Kelly and makes the play.
2nd down and 10 at the 20. Palmer split to the right. Hand off for Thomas. And gang tackled. The front 4, Washington, Howard, Brock, Douglas, all over. Thurman Thomas, a loss of a couple of 3rd and 12 at the 18.
And what do you know, the Jets coming out here fired up a little bit like that Miami game. Remember that? They went in at halftime completely dead, out of the football game. We were riding them off. Come out in the 2nd half, make the comeback and beat the Dolphins.
17-16 victory, the last Jet victory. All right, Kelly taken down. Number 99, Hugh Douglas, with his 10th sack of the season.
And I love what Rich Kotite had to say about Hugh Douglas. He said, this guy is a house wrecker. He has made the guys around him better for the New York Jets. You need one guy on that defense that is going to come up with big plays. And for the Jets, it has been the rookie, Hugh Douglas, his 10th sack of the season now.
And Moore punting out of his end zone. Seidner comes up for it. Seidner on the return. And then hit at the 36-yard line, and the flag is down. Sam Rogers throwing himself at Jeff Seidner. 34-yard punt and a 5-yard return. Apparently the flag waved off. 12:24 left in the 3rd. Jets appear to be a charged up team here at the start of the 3rd quarter. It's now 21-10 Buffalo. 12:24 to go in the third. And off to Baxter. He's turned back. Monty Brown all over Brad Baxter. Monty Brown in his third year out of Ferris State in Michigan. Well, the Jets in the first half, 86 total yards. Already here in the third quarter, 3 minutes in, they've accounted for 63.
And there is a young secondary in there right now for the Buffalo Bills. Not much experience at all. Greg Evans, Marlon Kerner, Chris Green, and Thomas Smith. Boomer Esiason may be able to take advantage.
Henry Jones hitting the head in the second quarter is set to be a question mark in terms of his return. That pass deflected. Sam Rogers got a piece of it.
Sam Rogers has had a good game so far in this one. Carlton Hasselrigg coming out to pick him up, but Rogers getting the hands up to make the deflection. But the thing that now Boomer Esiason has to do is he has to try and use some motion, use some strange formations, and see if he can't get them to blow another coverage like they did on the touchdown to Johnny Mitchell.
Third down and 10. The Jets at the Bills' 35-yard line. Esiason picked off. Matt Darby with the interception. Picked up a blocker. Matt Darby on the return. Forced out of bounds by James Brown. So Darby going 33 yards with the pick. It is his first of the season.
Boomer just late with this football. He had a chance to get this one in there trying to hit Johnny Mitchell down the pipe again, but the ball faded on him to the inside. There was clearly room there to make the reception, but when the ball went back towards the middle of the field, gave Matt Darby too much time to react. And what a big break and another big play defensively for the Buffalo Bills after it appeared that the Jets had played themselves right back into it.
Boomer Esiason picked off for the second time today. Boomer involved with Jim Jeffcoat. And this is Holmes to the open field. Derek Holmes caught from behind by Otis Smith. Derek Holmes, a 7th-round draft pick. The Bills' second pick on the 7th round out of Portland State. Had a strong preseason and emerged as a huge surprise.
Yeah, 100 yards rushing last week. He made Hugh Douglas take the inside track, blockers out in front, and you could just see the demoralized Jet defense taking the field after that interception by Boomer Esiason. They just weren't ready to play in that situation.
With a 47-yard play, Holmes gets it again to the outside, and he's in for the touchdown. So the interception by Matt Darby setting it up, and then it was Derek Holmes. Second touchdown of the season. He has been an exciting player. So the Bills now lead at 27-10.
And nobody runs this play better than do the Buffalo Bills right now. The counter tray, they pull the offside guard, the offside tackle, get a lot of beef up there in front of Derek Holmes, who comes in at about 230 pounds himself. And this Jet defense just was not ready after the interception. They had a major, major letdown. Pick set up the touchdown. What's the beautiful blocking out here on the outside. Reuben Brown coming over, also the backside guard, Jerry Ostrowski getting the pin block. You just can't execute that counter tray any better than that. Reuben Brown has had a sensational game. You talk about impressive rookies in this league, and everyone wants to speak of the skill position players, but that big guy, number 79, has made an impact for the Buffalo Bills.
Kickoff handled by Moore. Ronald Moore across the 40. Slowed down by the kicker, Christie. Beautiful return and nice blocking to unleash Ronald Moore for 48 yards.
First Frontal Moore coming over in the trade that sent Rob Moore to the Cardinals. Really has not done a lot this season, but it's good to see the Jet kickoff return team come right back out and make a play. The Buffalo Bills, on the other hand, they really struggled with this team against Atlanta, and their problems continue.
So the Jets first down at the Buffalo 43. The slant, short pickup, Bennett on the stop.
Matt Willig has been fighting all day with Bruce Smith on the left side, and yeah, he held a little bit and tackled and twisted his ankle. Did a lot of different things, but for Matt Willig, you got to do what you can do up there with Bruce Smith. Really, Bruce Smith haven't called his name a lot there today, so let's give Matt Willig some credit.
And as Matt told you the other day, he was not going to do any taunting, no talking in the direction of Smith. Morrell short of the first down. Everett McIver 6 weeks ago and facing Bruce Smith, making his first NFL start. Did a lot of trash talking, which surprised Bruce Smith. Bruce was telling me the other day what surprised him is McIver kept criticizing his technique. He said, you're just using the same technique over and over, and Bruce is saying, but I'm beating you with this technique.
It's working. And my favorite one was Bruce went to Brad Baxter, the running back, and said, tell this guy to shut up. Baxter goes back to McIver and says, you don't know what you're doing. This guy's going to kill you, then he's going to come kill me. Shut up.
It's a 3rd and 4, and Esiason completes to Wilson for the first down. Charles Wilson hauled down by Monty Brown. That's good for 16.
This was a play that they've been working fairly effectively throughout the course of the day, right over the middle. And Boomer stepping up in the pocket like he talked about. And once again, Wilson making the play. And really the Jets, if they can come away with a touchdown here, they're right back in it again.
Second catch of the game for Wilson. 8:45 left in the 3rd. Morrell tried to accelerate and tripped up by Bennett.
Cornelius Bennett is just one of the faster linebackers in the league. I believe right here is Cornelius. And just watch the way he reads the blocks and then shoots through the hole. He even takes on a blocker first and there to make the play. I mean, there just aren't many inside linebackers that can take on a block and still stop that sweep play to the outside.
Second down and 8 at the 17. Bills 28. The Jets 10. Esiason, that is deflected. Did not be handled by Wilson. It'll be a 3rd down and 8. Carlton Hasselrud, the right guard in his 5th NFL season, and comes off, Chris, what you would call just your average bye week in which he was arrested for disorderly conduct and missed his scheduled weekly NFL drug test. Remember, he sat out last year because of an alcohol abuse suspension. Thought would not talk about it during the course of the week, but is back in the starting lineup following the bye week. And Esiason's pass is blocked again. So that brings up a 4th and 8. The field goal unit checking in. Bruce Smith claiming that he was held on that play.
And I would have to say that he probably was. And Ted Washington, who's right in the middle, is going to get his hands up, working against the double team and knock this one down. One of Boomer's problems has always been because of that sidearm delivery. Not a lot of height when he releases the ball, so he does get a few knocked down.
35-yard attempt by Lowry, hit from 30 earlier, and this one is good. So Lowry, 2 of 2, 12 of 14 for the season. We'll be right back. Excellent job. Leads the AFC with touchdowns. Had a couple today, but this one is handled by Holmes, and he's able to run it. Now to 7:43 to go in this 3rd quarter. And the Bills leading the Jets 28-13.
Key thing on Thanksgiving, get that turkey finished early. Because by 3:30, you just want to sit and watch.
little holiday tip.
That's it. Just a holiday tip. You know, eat early, gives you more time to digest that food. Maybe 2 o'clock or so to get the bird done. Eat and sit around on the couch.
What are you talking about?
That's what I'm talking about. With the Thanksgiving, you get the bird finished early, you eat, and then at 3:30 the game starts, and you just sit there.
It is a first down at the 30-yard line as Thurman Thomas finds the hole. Gary Jones, the free safety, making the tackle.
And the first time around against the Jets, the Buffalo Bills ran for 220 yards against this defense. Today, only 53 yards before that carry. So the Jets have done anything well today. It's been slowing down the drain yet.
Second down and 2. And Kelly airs it out, completes to Tasker. And he is pulled down inside the 20 by Aaron Glenn. So Steve Tasker with another big play. This good for 42 yards, his 3rd catch of the day.
This really is getting to be entertaining. There's Gary Jones, who filling in for Todd Scott, replaced him at safety. And Tasker working against Aaron Glenn, a #1 draft pick. Steve Tasker, just kind of a special teams guy. He chases kicks, and so naturally he's going to beat Aaron Glenn on the play. Just a football player. That's just a football player. He just, no matter what you ask him to do, he's going to make plays.
First down at the 20-yard line. Thomas stopped by Washington. Marvin Washington, bothered by a pulled hamstring during the course of the week. Getting the reps on Thomas. Pickup of 3. Second down and 7 at the 17. Bills in the hurry up. 6 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Handoff for Thomas. And he's hit for a loss. Marvin Jones right there, not fooled by that play.
Hit first by Matt Brock, with help from Marvin Jones.
A report on Russell Copeland, who has not been out there. Out, we're told, for the game with bruised ribs, and that is the reason that we're seeing even more of Steve Tasker.
And we may see even more of Steve Tasker even when Russell Copeland's ribs get better with the way that he's played this afternoon.
3rd down and 9. That last play losing a couple. Palmer is to the left. Tasker to the right. Brooks on the wing. Inside the 15-yard line, stacked up by Mo Lewis, but short of the first down. So Steve Christie and the field goal unit will check in, talking about the all-around abilities of Tasker. As we mentioned earlier, he has been also used as the holder. He took over last week. The feeling was that Chris Moore was having some problems, although Christie missed one earlier, but Tasker apparently a little quicker to get the ball down. 32-yard attempt for Christie. And Steve Christie's kick not good.
One of the problems you have, though, when you bring in a different holder, just a different feel, and Steve Christie has been having problems.
28-13 lead on the Jets. Steve Christie missing for the 2nd time today, missing from 42 and a moment ago from 32 yards out. And the Jets will take over at their 23-yard line. We talked earlier about the Buffalo schedule next Sunday home for New England. The Jets, who are merely playing out the schedule in their situation, 2 up, 8 down. Next Sunday at Seattle, then home for St. Louis, then a couple on the road. And what has been a disastrous season, a disastrous NFL year all around in the New York area for both the Giants and the Jets. Giants beat earlier by the Eagles and Billy Morrell. And there was a short pickup for Adrian Morrell. And James Brown shaken up. Right tackle. James Brown down.
3-yard gain. 2nd and 7.
Hitting the groin.
Yes. keen observation. Second down and 8. 4 minutes remaining in the third. Esiason. Let's see, was he down? Did he get it away? Sam Rogers coming fast on the blitz. The pass intended for Brady, and apparently it is an incomplete pass. He did release it.
Now you're going to see the difference right here without, well, my telestrator's not going to work, but watch the back trying to come up with a pickup. That's Adrian Morrell instead of Brad Baxter. Baxter makes that play. Morrell does not. He is not nearly the blocker.
And a third down and 8 coming up. Esiason. Oh, nope. Could not hang on. Wilson with the diving attempt, but could not make the reception.
Charles Wilson just working one-on-one against the rookie Marlon Kerner. He's going to find his way into the middle hole of the zone and eminently catchable there. Bruce Smith reacquainting himself with Boomer Esiason in the backfield.
4th down and 8, and Brian Hansen will punt. Takes the high snap. Punting from his 11th. Flag is thrown. Good tackle on Steve Tasker by Chad Cascadden. Chad Cascadden, who has played well on special teams, coming up with a stop on Tasker. 37-yard punt, only a 3-yard return. Cascadden signed as a free agent. Actually made the team at Wisconsin as a walk-on and has developed into a special teams standout. One of the rare bright spots for the Jets.
You have to celebrate in your own way. Now, what would that be? Marv, you've been around sports a long time. What would you say he's doing
Not
there?
that long, though. I believe he is drinking to the victory. I would just guess. All right, taking a sip. You buy that or?
Whatever. That sounds good to me. Right.
But you wonder why the celebration on a club that is 2-8 for one particular special teams tackle when you're down 28-13.
Those guys sit over here on the bench for a long time, though. They get their individual moment of glory. Why not?
All right, Thurman Thomas stopped by Marvin Washington. 3.5 remaining in this third quarter. Bills with a 28-13 lead on the Jets.
2nd and 10 from the 41.
Never quite seen that technique before, though.
It is a 2nd and 10. And the diving catch by Tasker for the first down. It's in front of Green. And we're set for an update. Let's hear from Greg Gumbel. Greg?
All right, Marv, we'll take you to Mile High Stadium in Denver, where on the first play of the fourth quarter, Stan Humphries over the middle, Ronnie Harmon out of the backfield, 12-yard touchdown, the extra point, and the Chargers are within a touchdown of the Broncos, 27-20 Denver early in the fourth, Marv.
All right, Greg, back at Giants Stadium. Quick hole for Derek Holmes. Ripping for another Buffalo first down. The free safety, Gary Jones, on the stop on Holmes. That is good for 14 yards.
And Hugh Douglas just missing here, coming around the corner. Barely got an arm on Holmes, but not enough to bring down the big guy.
5 carries, 27 yards for Holmes. And Holmes again, this time a short pickup.
And this is what Derek Holmes did awfully well last week against Atlanta, and something that the Bills had struggled with early in the season. They just kept giving it to him, and he ran out the clock. Didn't give Jeff George a lot of time to work with there in the fourth quarter.
Second down. And about 7 at the 31-yard line. Just under 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Holmes lost his footing and lost on the play.
Well, now another big play for the Jet defense. You keep thinking that the Jets are out of this game, but it's just a 15-point difference. And the Bills right on the edge of being in field goal range. Right now it would be about a 51-yard kick. So if they can make another play and perhaps force the Bills to punt this one away, still in the ballgame.
3rd and 10. Kelly with a soft pass. Looked like he's changing his mind as he saw the coverage on Holmes.
And I think now that the Buffalo Bills may well be punting this football. Because if they miss another kick, then the Jets would get it on about the 41-yard line. That's exactly what they're doing.
Christie has missed from 42 and 32. Instead, Chris Moore has had a very fine season. Punting from midfield, Carpenter and Seidner are back. Jets just want Seidner to catch the ball and hold on to it. They're coming off the experience next to Carter, but this one carries, let's see, inside the 5. Beautifully placed by Moore. 31-yard punt, but that is not the significance because the Jets will start out deep in their territory from just outside the 5. Well, here on NBC, the Bills 28 and the Jets 13. Ruben Esiason making his return today. The last time he played 6 weeks ago. Look out as Ronald Moore is driven back by Bruce Smith.
Bruce Smith just stepping right through Matt Willey this time. Look at this from the running back's perspective. I mean, just about the time you take the handoff, you run into number 78. Very underestimated as far as his ability to play the run. The amazing quickness to step inside the blockers and still make the plays back outside.
The ball at the 2 and a 2nd and 14 from the 2. Quebec in motion. Esiason gets it away. The swing from Morrell. He fell down and then is driven back. Let's see where they place the football. Rodgers and Kerner all over Morrell, and they ruled that his forward progress was stopped at about the 3 as this third quarter. 2-degree night here at Giant Stadium in the New Jersey Meadowlands as we head to the 4th quarter. Marv Albert with Chris Collinsworth. Buffalo with a 28-13 lead on the Jets. It's a 3rd and 13 from the 3-yard line as Moore gets the call again and is gang tackled. So the Jets now will punt it away.
Well, obviously they're Rich Kotite just trying to get a little room for his punter to get it out, and that's all well and good, but at the same time you're also down 15 points to take a few shots, and especially when you're 2-8, seems like you would.
And this is Brian Hansen deep in his end zone. Steve Tasker awaiting the punt. Now Tasker with the catch at midfield. Change of direction by Tasker. Inside the 40-yard line, runs it back 12 on a 45-yard punt, tackled by Kyle Clifton. Opening minute, 4th quarter, as the Jets come in at 2-8. The Giants with the loss against the Eagles, and Philadelphia now 3 up and 8 down, so they are right at the bottom of the NFL.
And in case you're wondering, there really are no franchise quarterbacks out there. There is not the Rick Meyer, the Drew Bledsoe who would warrant a #1 pick. Apparently Peyton Manning, who's like a sophomore at Tennessee, is the best quarterback in the prospect.
Herman Thomas stopped by Mo Lewis. So the Bills with 367 yards through 3 quarters of play, with their season high in sight, 415 last week against the Atlanta Falcons. 2nd down and 7 at the Jet 35-yard line. A flag is tossed. Thomas with a short advance, met by Matt Brock. Right defensive tackle, and a penalty down.
Offside. Defense, left tackle. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down. Second down.
Call on Tony Casillas. So it will be a second and 2 down at the 30-yard line.
And Tony Casillas, coming off of that back surgery, now relegated to more of a backup role. Rich Kotite saying that he's really not in a position anymore to play every down. He just physically can't handle that anymore.
Tony in his 9th year out of Oklahoma, as you mentioned, returning from the back surgery. Kelly. Goes short range. Lonnie Johnson, the tight end, taking that flip, but it was met immediately by Bobby Houston.
Lonnie Johnson, a young man studying to be an ordained minister, and obviously very strong with his faith, trying to make football and his beliefs match. Sometimes that can be difficult to do.
Lonnie, a second-round draft pick last year out of Florida State. Third down and 6. Kelly with the time goes right back to Johnson, and they'll mark his forward progress, but that is short of a first down by several yards. Bo Lewis on the stop, and it brings up a 4th and 4.
Decision time again for Marv Levy, and instead of punting it from here and instead of trying a field goal, they're just going to go for it. They're going to try to put the Jets away right now, and not a great show of faith in Steve Christie.
Well, this would be a 50-yard field goal attempt. Kelly couldn't find anybody, and he's taken down. The sack for Casillas. Tony Casillas with his second sack of the season, and for the Jets, their 3rd of the day. So the Jets will take over. We'll be back after this. At halftime, considerable amount of no-shows, although it is listed as a capacity crowd as the Jets take over on downs. Morrell with a nice move, then trying to cut inside, and is brought down. Sam Rogers on the stop of Adrian Morrell. We're down to 11 minutes, 45 seconds to go in this 4th quarter, and the Bills leading the Jets 28-13, but the Jets allowed to hang around. If they are able to score, they're obviously right back in it.
That's right, and this is a dangerous situation. I think you're going to see Adrian Morrell become a little more involved here. He's the one guy capable of breaking a big play.
Second down and 4, and it is Morrell short of the first down. The nose tackle, Ted Washington, on the stop. Recap of the scoring. 30-yard field goal by Lowry gave the Jets a 3-0 lead. The Bills back on the Kelly to Brooks touchdown, 45-yard pass play. Thurman Thomas scored from 12 yards out on a long drive, a 17-play series. And that gave the Bills a 14-3 lead. Then Kelly to Brooks once again on an 18-yarder, 21-3 at the half. Third quarter, Esiason, 43-yard touchdown pass to Mitchell. Holmes ran it for 7 for a touchdown. And Lowry with a 35-yard field goal, bringing us to this point. Johnny Mitchell, who has become a major factor after a slow start on the reception. Evans with the tackle and a first down for the Jets.
And the play fake fooling the inside linebackers. Absolutely no coverage out there. A little bit like the touchdown play. And Johnny Mitchell making the play. You know, the Buffalo Bills sort of just hanging around here, not making the plays. They looked a little lethargic out there. And the Jets about 30 yards away from being right back in it.
There's a first down at the 30. Baxter stopped at the line. Again, it is Rogers. Sam Rogers, second-year man from Colorado, second-round draft pick last season with another tackle.
Phil Hansen doing a nice job stringing this play out, and got a hand anyway on Baxter in the backfield. He has 2 sacks in the ball game, and this has been one of his better ball games.
Second motion. Esiason able to get it away. A diving catch is made by Wilson as Esiason was being pulled down, and Rogers made the stop.
Sam Rogers just plowed right through Adrian Morrell. Morrell is just not much of a blocker at all, and somehow Boomer Esiason got it out there despite Rogers hanging all over him, and Charles Wilson came up with the play. So once again with the Jets, it's not pretty, but they are moving the ball down the field.
And this close to a first down, so we will see a measurement. 9 minutes 20 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. Than a yard coming up.
You know, the Jets have only scored more than 17 points in a ball game twice this season. But right now, Boomer Esiason with a drive.
Yes, they are 30th and last in scoring. Third down play, less than a yard to go. Esiason. And Baxter in motion. And Brad Baxter was stopped short of the first down. Washington and Smith combining on the tackle.
Well, Boomer thought he saw something off the left side. He audibled at the line of scrimmage. Looked like Baxter came up just a little bit short, and no question about it now. Even if it is short, you have to go for it in this situation for Rich Kotite. Baxter in motion is going to end up being the lead blocker. It looked like Baxter may have ducked that one inside, and had he followed Adrian Morrell into the hole, it looked like there was a hole there.
Again, the measurement. And the Jets, as you can see, are short. Reaction from the crowd as Rich Kotite makes his decision. Obviously, the crowd hoping the Jets do go for it. Looks like they will.
Marv, not a bad time here to come right back with that play to Johnny Mitchell. It has worked 2 times, once for a touchdown, another one for big yardage. And the Jets, why not take a shot at it?
Fourth and less than a yard. Morrell has the first down and additional yardage. Gets to the 25, tackled by Greg Evans.
Well, at least Otis Smith is not going to have to claim that the Jets quit in this football game. Just good power off tackle play here by the Jets. Brad Baxter once again the lead blocker. Out in front, Fred Baxter with a good block and tremendous effort to get off tackle.
8 minutes, 15 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And a first down just inside the 15. It is dropped. Corbett with the drop, and he was open.
Just aren't that many opportunities for the New York Jets to give them away. Corbett with room to run. He snuck back underneath the linebacker coverage. The ball slightly thrown behind him, but the play that even if you just turn around and make the catch and pick up 5 yards, you're moving in the right direction.
It is a 2nd and 10 at the 14-yard line. This drive by the Jets began when the Bills passed up on a 50-yard field goal attempt, and the Jets were able to sack Kelly on a 4th down and 4. Esiason with the time and able to complete to Moore. Ronald Moore stopped short of the goal line. Rogers getting involved with a couple of Jets. Evans made the tackle. And it will be a 1st and goal for the Jets.
Come right back with the same sort of a throw. This time to Ronald Moore. Just about like the one that Corbett dropped. And Carlton Hasselrig has been doing a super job all day long, pulling out from his guard position and picking up Bryce Popp.
It is a 1st and goal at the 1. The Jets with only 1 rushing touchdown this season. Flag is thrown as Baxter was stopped. Ball wrestled free, but the play was whistled dead.
A couple of the Jets moving just before the snap.
Ball start. Offense, number 81 prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
Well, that's the rookie tight end Kyle Brady, and it sets the Jets back.
The Jets always find a way to do it the hard way. Kyle Brady just leaning forward slightly, and that's the reason for the penalty. But down inside the 10-yard line, 1st and goal from the 1 and 1st and goal from the 6. 2 entirely different situations.
Al Morrell replaced by Baxter. And it will be a 1st and goal down at the 6-yard line. So Baxter is the lone defense. 7 minutes to go in this 4th quarter. Here's the play fake. Esiason threw it away. They count for 3 points right through the uprights.
The entire crowd, you can hear them collectively. It's good. Yes.
I believe in Canadian football, though. That would count.
Boomer even laughing about that one. Now, you get a point for everything in Canadian football.
Yeah.
Give it to him one time.
No, another look at it. Nicely done.
Snuck in by the upright.
So it's a 2nd and goal at the 6. Now they go to the 2 backs. And Esiason fires. Touchdown. Fred Baxter on the touchdown reception. Now, Chris, do you consider going for the 2 here, or do you wait for later on?
I think you go for 1, Marv. I really do, because you want to keep your team in the football game. If you make the extra point here, you're down by 8. If you miss the 2-point conversion here, you're down by 9, and you're out of the game. You know, so I think you keep your team mentally into the game.
The Jets, incidentally, have not attempted a 2-point conversion this year. For Baxter, his 1st touchdown of the season. So Lowry with the extra point, that would cut it to 8. 6:51 remaining. 4th quarter, it's the Bills 28 and the Jets 20. You're watching the NFL on NBC.
The most affordable Lexus now comes with a moonroof. 6-disc CD auto changer. Leather-trimmed seats. And chrome wheels worthy of a Lexus. And with a...
And the 4th quarter, and the Jets continue to hang around, trailing by 8 points. Bills with a 28-20 lead. And Don Silvestri will kick it off. First-year player out of Pittsburgh. Done a nice job. This time a short kick, though. And handled by Holmes. Straight ahead move as he carries across the 30-yard line, tripped up by Otis Smith.
Going back to the touchdown, Fred Baxter right there at the bottom. The tight end is going to do a good job going in, pressuring the inside linebacker of the zone, and then just cutting it back to the outside. Boomer throwing it low and away, and all of a sudden we have ourselves a football game.
Boomer Esiason, 16 of 31, 189 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Had a bad day making his return from the concussion. Suffered 6 weeks ago against the same Buffalo Bills. On the delay, it's the end around for Tasker. And he brings to the 36-yard line Gary Jones on the stop. An advance of 6. It'll be a 2nd down and 4.
Bills like to do a lot of this sort of reverse action. This was actually how Andre Reed got hurt earlier in the year, and all that does is just stop some of the backside pursuit from getting any momentum going. But this is a big drive now for Jim Kelly and the Buffalo Bills, and they're out of the K-gun, going back to the huddle, trying to burn a little clock, but they have not been very effective coming out of the huddle this year.
Derek Holmes, and he is stopped short of the first down. Matt Brock on the tackle. We're set for an update. Let's check in with Greg Gumbel.
All right, Marv, in Denver, the San Diego Chargers playing like the defending AFC champions they are. Rodney Culver, 4-yard touchdown. At one point, the Chargers were down 21-0 in the first, and now, less than 4 minutes to play, it's a 27-27 tie at Mile High Stadium. Marv?
Thank you, Greg. And a big play here with 5.5 remaining in the fourth quarter. Buffalo 3rd down and 2 from the 38-yard line. Here's Holmes, and he has the first down. Eric Howard on the cover-up. Derek Holmes picking up the first down to keep this drive alive.
And Marv, I think that they're gaining more and more confidence now in Derek Holmes as the game has progressed. And in the game last week when it was on the line, it was number 44 in the ball game. And I don't know if Thurman Thomas is still shaken up from the injury earlier or not, but he has become their guy in the fourth quarter to try and grind out the clock.
The Bills first down at the 42-yard line. 4:45 remaining in the fourth quarter. The Bills lead the Jets by 8. Again for Holmes, but he's turned back. Marvin Jones and Eric Howard with the surge, leading to the loss on the play.
One of the things when you try and run a lot of this counter action, if you can get penetration up the field, it completely destroys the play. That time Matt Brock and Marvin Jones getting the penetration, and now Jim Kelly forced to put the ball in the air. Too much time to play it conservatively and just punt the football.
And Marvin Jones with 15 tackles. We're coming up on 4 minutes remaining in the fourth, and Kelly does throw. Bill Brooks stopped by Mo Lewis a good 9 yards away from a first down.
And that was a good play out there by Bill Brooks. Not only did he make the catch, but he didn't let Mo Lewis just drive him out of bounds. You could see right at the end of the play, as soon as he caught the ball, leaning back into the playing field and got down to keep that clock running.
Brooks with a 7th reception. 3rd down and about 10. 3.5 left, fourth quarter. The Jets want the football back, down by 8. Kelly could not find anyone, and the pressure forced him into the incompletion. Marvin Washington was in his face, and the Bills will have to punt.
And Marvin Washington really has had a terrific ball game since getting fooled earlier on a couple of those bootlegs. He has been in Jim Kelly's face all day long.
So Jeff Seidner is back. We'll await the punt from Chris Moore. Jeff Seidner played for the Eagles for 3 seasons, cut a week before the season opener. Moore once again with the pop fly, and that's just what they want Seidner to do, just hold on to the football. 42-yard punt, 3:07 left in the fourth. In the fourth quarter, the Bills now clinging to a 28-20 lead as the Jets take over at their 17. Ryerson going short range to Quebec. And he has the first down, run out across the 30 by Chris Green. 13-yard pickup, second catch of the day for Wayne Chrebet. A reminder, following the game on most of these stations, it'll be Brotherly Love and minor adjustments, and then all new episodes of Man About You and Hope and Gloria, followed by the world premiere movie Dead by Sunset. That's coming up following the Jets and the Bills. First down at the 30-yard line. intercepted, intended for Morrell.
One of those option routes that Boomer Esiason likes to throw. He was expecting Morrell to go out and turn out. Instead, Morrell read it and turned in. And that's one that oftentimes leads to an interception. Of course, they hadn't had a lot of time to work together over the past few weeks because of Boomer Esiason's concussion.
Buffalo Bills hurting in the secondary. Kurt Schulz a scratch because of the deep thigh bruise. Of course, Jeff Burris is out. Henry Jones injured today. The completion to the tight end Brady, but a short pickup. That is only his first catch of the day. Thomas Smith, Cornelius Bennett combining on the stop.
Esiason certainly has picked it up here in the second half and gotten this offense moving. They're staying in the huddle and not going to the hurry up. When you have a young secondary and all the injuries that the Bills have back there, you want to try and confuse them the best that you can, and by allowing them back to the huddle, it's to the Bills' advantage.
It's a third down and 5. Esiason, they're going to swing it out. Baxter. And it is short of the first down. Run out by Marlon Turner, the rookie from Ohio State. Both teams have 3 timeouts remaining. They have all their timeouts. 2 minutes, 15 seconds to go in this fourth quarter. It is a 4th down and 1. And now a timeout called by the Jets.
It is a rare sight. Unparalleled performance, agility, and a really cool lease price. Introducing the Toyota Tacoma $199 down, $199 a month lease. Tacoma, more powerful than its predecessor. Increased towing, Toyota legendary quality, and a lease where the most popular options get left in, not taken out. The Toyota Tacoma $199 down lease. Of all the reasons to drive a Tacoma, this just might be the most powerful.
Some run, some swim, some jump. But only one Olympic team will lift, pack, and ship their way to Atlanta from around the world. From athletic equipment to telecommunications equipment that will help bring the games to the world. If they're here, chances are the company that guarantees delivery from around the globe got them here. Excepting those who made it entirely on their own. UPS, worldwide Olympic sponsor.
These days, trying to get on top of your financial situation is getting tougher and tougher. What you need is someone with experience and know-how. MetLife can help you get a grip on things and help you make sense of it all. Get Met. It pays.
Thanksgiving Day on NBC. The game of the year. The Chiefs, leaders in the AFC. The Cowboys, best in the NFC. The big game in Big D at 3:30 Eastern. Kansas City versus Dallas. Thanksgiving Day on NBC.
2 minutes, 15 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. The Bills 28 and the Jets 20, and the Jets are looking at a 4th down and 1 at their 39-yard line.
Expensive use of a timeout that time, though, by Rich Kotite, because if you have all 3, you may get the ball back another time, even if this doesn't work.
Morrell and Baxter in the backfield. Brent Baxter, the tight end, in motion. Play fake, and Esiason's pass is knocked down. Sam Rogers, who has been so active, so effective, able to get a piece of the football.
Well, you can't block all these guys, and if you're going to pay as much attention to Bryce Popp and Bruce Smith and Cornelius Bennett as they have, somebody's going to be left alone, and that somebody has been Sam Rogers today. Sam saw this one coming, and Brad Baxter, I guess, could have cut blocked him to try and give Boomer a throwing lane, but, you know, I just, it's second guessing, I know, but to take the time out there and to give the defense a chance to get settled and the offense a chance, It just, as an offensive player, I always like to just go. You know, just get up there, call something, let's go, let's run the play.
So you would have been very comfortable on the K-gun. We'd have loved it.
Yeah, you know, just keep it going, especially in a tight situation like that.
So the Bills take over at the 39-yard line, and Holmes is turned back. Marvin Jones once again involved on the tackle. That is his 16th of the game.
And Marv, this is not completely over because of the fact they've got the 2-minute warning and still another timeout to go. So unless the Bills pick up a first down, they have to go for the kick or the punt.
And a timeout has been taken. For those who may have joined us late, a recap of the big plays. First quarter was Jim Kelly on a 45-yard touchdown pass to Bill Brooks, who has had another sensational game. Buffalo led 7-3. And then in the second quarter, capping off a long drive, 17 plays, 90 yards. Buffalo had the ball for 6.5 minutes. Thurman Thomas ran it in from 12 yards away. Once again, Kelly and Brooks hooking up, this time 18-yard pass play, 21-3 Bills. And here's Boomer Esiason on a 43-yard touchdown pass to the tight end, Johnny Mitchell. Bills led 21-10 this early third quarter, but Buffalo right back. Derek Holmes, 7-yard touchdown run, 28-10 lead. And here's Boomer again, Esiason to the tight end, Fred Baxter. Early fourth quarter for a 28-20 Buffalo lead to bring the Jets within 8, and that's where we are with 2 minutes and 5 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And Jim Kelly and the Bills looking at a 2nd down and 9 at the Jet 38-yard line. Gardner in motion. Holmes with nowhere to go and lost on the play. Wilbur Marshall with the stop of Derek Holmes. And now the indication of the 2-minute warning. We'll be right back.
So, I suppose you'll be having big speed up in this room for the limbs next.
Oh, with this little fella, I won't have to call the cream me Jan. Traveling another speaking phone. Can I play CDs? Print. And that's without going within a bush or the hole in the wall.
Miss Machinchi must have been behind the door and dead.
And when the video capture capability to make it capture. And not the right picture. Ask me to myself down 95 way.
Is it Diet Dr. Pepper or regular? You have 10 seconds to decide. But if you can't tell the difference, don't worry. You probably can't taste the difference either, even with all the time in the world. Discover the great taste of Diet Dr. Pepper.
Can McDonald's Chicken McNuggets make you feel like a kid again? Can they give you a thrill? Yes, with McDonald's 2 for $2. 2 tempting 6-piece Chicken McNuggets or 2 McChicken sandwiches for just $2.
Hey, Santa, I've so much to do. One thing you don't have to do is worry about tires for whatever you drive. Because through Sunday, all tires are on sale at Sears Auto Center. All Goodyear and Michelin, all Bridgestone and Road Handler, all on sale. With free lifetime flat repair and 5,000-mile rotation, we'll have you back on the road to the holidays in no time. Come see the merry side of Sears.
Tonight on Mad About You, Paul and Jamie hire a nanny.
What about experience?
For Murray?
We're paying a man to stand there while an animal makes duty in the street.
Then Hollywood Pete is back.
Oh, my God.
Engaged to Hope's sister. And Regis stops by.
My show, these are my babies.
You thought Kathy Lee was a pain.
All new NBC tonight.
Chris, we have been promoting the NBC movie Home Alone. Very shortly, the Jets will be home alone with the crowd continuing to file out. It's been a good second half.
Has been. If the Jets stop them right here, they'll get the ball back with around 2 minutes to go.
The attendance, 54,436, so 23,000 no-shows here at Giant Stadium. Powell Gardner hit the hit. Short pickup, Tony Casillas on the stop. And the Jets have just taken their final timeout.
Well, they can't ask this Jet defense to do a whole lot more than what they've done in the second half. Otis Smith questioning whether or not they quit the last time around, but they've hung in here pretty good and given their Jet offensive teammates every opportunity to get back in the ballgame.
And this, a typical game for the Buffalo Bills. You look back on what they have accomplished over the first 10, record of 7-3. They've won 4 of those 7 games by 6 points, where the opponent had the ball at the end of the game, which could occur right here. They have an 8-point lead with 1:54 to go.
And just like Atlanta had last week, the Jets and Boomer Esiason will have an opportunity to go the length of the field to tie the ball game. And one thing to keep in mind is that Buffalo has a lot of players injured in that secondary. Not a lot of veterans back there, so once Esiason gets into that 2-minute offense, a chance for some confusion.
Jeff Seidner back awaiting the punt from Chris Moore. Mentioned earlier, the Jets just looking for Seidner to catch the ball. Very dependable punt return man, but not a game breaker. But this one is put into the end zone, or did it carry out just shy? Wow. Unbelievable. Inside the 1. That appears to be the indication. The Bills discussing it with the official. That seemed to be the early call.
I don't know what the discussion's about. It's either in or it's out. You know, the guy's standing right next to the pylon. The pylon is part of the end zone, so if it went over the pylon, it's a touchback.
Ball went out of bounds on the 1-yard line.
Wow.
1st and 10.
What a punt by Moore as it carries out at the 1, and that's where the Jets will have to start out.
Aren't many times when a punter gets a chance to be a hero, but now you're forcing this Jet offense to go 99 yards with no timeouts. Make it a game ball.
Well, Chris Moore with a 36-yard punt, but again, the yardage in this case not of significance. He has had a very solid season, and being greeted back at the sideline as the Jets now have 107 seconds to go, 99 yards, and then to tie the game must score on a 2-point conversion. They start out from the 1. Esiason facing the pressure, able to complete to Mitchell.
Johnny Mitchell's had a good ball game today for the Jets. The roommates, Boomer Esiason and Johnny Mitchell, hooking up on several big plays.
4th catch of the day for Mitchell. Clock running. Jets out of timeouts. 1.5 minutes remaining. First down at the 12-yard line. This one thrown slightly off, intended for Mitchell. It'll be a 2nd and 10 at the 12. 1:23 remaining.
Boomer fading back that time a little bit. He was telling us yesterday that the one thing he had to do was stay up in the pocket, because once you move back, it makes it much easier for those ends coming around to get him. And really, Boomer has to step back up and make the plays that he was making earlier in this half.
Esiason, side on it, and completing to Quebec. Nice catch, nice throw. Marlo Perry on the tackle. It's good for 22. Clock is running. Down to 1:05. A first down for the Jets from their 35-yard line. And Esiason completes again to Mitchell, but the clock is running. He'll have to stop the clock somewhere along the line here. Down to 50 seconds. No timeouts remaining. Over to throw. And does. Has a sideline pattern. Did he get out of bounds? Charles Wilson. No, he did not. Looking for the sideline. Taken down by Green. So the clock is running. We're down to 30 seconds remaining. That was a 20-yard hookup. And now Esiason does stop the clock.
Well, you can't ask for much more than what the Jets have done on this drive. And I believe that the Buffalo Bills are going to get called for a late substitution. Well, the Bills right now are clapping, so maybe it's going against the Jets. Bills late running some people on.
Was taken by Buffalo prior to the snap. It's the 42nd timeout. There is no penalty on the play because timeout was granted prior to.
So there was a dead ball, and Marv Levy not wanting the timeout now because it gives the Jets a first down in this situation and a chance to regroup. And Marv is upset. The substitution just didn't take place in time, and they were forced to burn the timeout.
Time permitting, Greg Gumbel, Mike Ditka, Joe Gibbs standing by to bring you all the scores and highlights on the NFL on NBC postgame report that would follow the conclusion of our telecast. Coming up next, Brotherly Love, Mad About You, Hope and Gloria, and the Sunday night movie Dead by Sunset. 27 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. The Jets trailing the Bills by 8.
And what would it mean to Boomer Esiason, the team that knocked him unconscious, Bruce Smith knocking him out for 5 weeks, to come back against this team and lead them on a 99-yard touchdown drive to tie the game and send it into overtime? Let's give Boomer credit. He has shown a lot of courage out there today. He didn't have the happy feet, hung in there and made the throws despite quite a bit of pressure, and now has put his team in a position to maybe pull off the tie.
Boomer 23 of 42, 271 yards, 2 touchdowns, intercepted twice. First down at the Buffalo 39. And Esiason throwing deep. Intended for Mitchell. We're down to 22 seconds to go.
And now you have to be careful as well that if you complete a pass on the field and it's of any length whatsoever, you may not get off another play. So it's almost time now for the Jets to put in the Geronimo formation and just take it and throw it down into the end zone 2 or 3 times.
Trebet to the left. Wilson to the right. 2nd and 10 at the 39. Esiason stepping up but taken down.
They have to hustle now.
4th sack of the day for the Bills. First one in the second half, though, for Buffalo. And Bryce Pop with his 2nd of the game. He had 2 last week.
Have to hurry.
Number 15 on the year for Pop. Final seconds. And Esiason looking to fire for the end zone. And it is caught. Touchdown! Touchdown for the Jets. Adrian Morrell on the deflection. Unbelievable. With no time showing on the clock, which means it comes down to the 2-point conversion for the tie.
Adrian Morrell is just waiting by the pile. They throw it up. It gets batted around. A little bit like the play Ahmad Rashad made way back when off the helmet of one of the Buffalo Bills. We talked about the inexperience of this secondary because of the injuries, and Morrell there to make the play, and Boomer has pulled it off if they can make this 2-point conversion.
Morrell's first touchdown of the season. It's good for 41 yards. First time the Jets have attempted a 2-point conversion going for the tie. The game has come down to this. Brett Baxter in motion. Here's the play fake. Esiason broken up, and the Bills have won it. Thomas Smith able to get a piece of it to break it up. The Buffalo Bills escape with a 28-26 victory for the Jets. It is a heartbreaking defeat as they go to 2-9. The Bills 8 up and 3 down.
And Marv, they come right back to the play that they tried on 4th down earlier. You know the Buffalo Bills, at least they got one look at it before. And for Marv Levy, this ball club escapes once again. But what an effort in the second half by the Jets, showing a lot of courage.
And that pass intended once again for Adrian Morrell.
I'm just surprised they came right back with that same sort of play after it didn't work the first time around.
There will be a post-game report. Greg Gumbel will have all the scores and highlights from